and courts work with what's already on the books?
It's hard to say. The laws have been, I say, beaten into submission at this point. They've been made less potent over time. So it's hard to use those. I think they could be tightened up. I think Senator Klobuchar has done a good job of rewriting the laws ever so slightly to make them more useful to these regulators. But I also think that in order to shop around big tech, you need to have some mention of data as a price that consumers pay for these services. It's not just about the prices of goods that come out of our wallets. It's the price that we pay in handing over reams of valuable personal data on ourselves. How is that controlled? What are the rules governing that? There's nothing written in our antitrust laws today about that, which is why you see Facebook and Google and Amazon where they are. I think if they could tighten that up a little bit and explain something in the laws that talks about this industry in a more concrete way, it would be a lot easier for antitrust enforcement to take place and probably better for consumers and for the industry because you'd see more Instagrams flourish, more Twitter, more companies like that.
Talk a little bit about the AT&T takeover of Time Warner and what that showed to us all.
So AT&T buying Warner was interesting. It was a vertical merger, which just means that the company that was doing the acquiring doesn't compete directly with the company it was purchasing, but they're all part of the same sort of supply chain, right? They're just different points along the way. So AT&T is a telecom company, and they were buying Time Warner to get content and get streaming. And during the Trump administration, that was seen as potentially a problematic deal, but it was tricky as to why. I thought that it was problematic from an antitrust perspective. Some people thought that maybe President Trump saw it problematic because he wanted to kind of stick it to CNN, which is one of the assets at hand. So it really muddied this whole process. And so when the Justice Department rightfully tried to block this deal and sued to block it, this whole case was just tainted with political speculation and stuff around that, when really I think it was a really good test case for why do we just allow these companies to buy whatever they wish just because it's not a direct competitor? Why should big tech, big telecom companies own everything along the food chain? Why should AT&T be able to control HBO Max and use that to promote their own wireless plans? It's difficult. And I think in that case, the judge, they ultimately decided to let that deal through. But I think the judge didn't want the case to rely on speculation of what could happen in this market. They wanted firm evidence that there was harm happening and there would be harm happening. And I think the government's lawyers just couldn't do that because the streaming industry is so new. It's still new to this day. So how could they 2 years ago when this court case was happening prove what the judge was asking for? It was just really hard to do. And so ultimately that deal went through, again, setting a precedent that says any large company can buy a smaller company as long as you're not direct competitors.
And has the judge been proven wrong?
So it's funny. I think that the judge was proven wrong. I think that AT&T, that deal was ultimately harmful. The problem was that it had such a sour effect on the rest of AT&T's business because of the amount of debt they took to do it, distraction, trying to figure out the streaming space, that ultimately AT&T 2 years later has given up on that deal. They're now selling Time Warner to Discovery.
Thanks, Tara. That's Tara LaChapelle, a media and deals columnist for Bloomberg Opinion. Coming up on Bloomberg Opinion, how viewing workers as an investment can help in the fight for a living wage. I'm Ross, and this is Bloomberg.
Your life isn't defined by one decade, so why should your music be? Take a journey through the spectrum of rock. Hall of Fame legends alongside newcomers and today's defining voices. The spectrum, where classic rock meets new rock. Channel 28, or listen anytime and anywhere with the SXM app.
I'm Joel, co-founder of the company behind Super Beats. I know what you're thinking. This guy must really love beets. Well, I'd like to say yes. Truth is that when I asked our team of scientists and dietitians to find the best superfoods for promoting heart-healthy energy, supporting healthy blood pressure, they led me to beets. But we didn't stop there. I'm excited to share with you our newest product, Super Beets Heart Chews, which includes clinically researched grapeseed extract, shown to be 2 times as effective at supporting normal blood pressure than a healthy lifestyle alone. Our team is committed to supporting your healthy lifestyle with products like Super Beets Heart Chews. Science-backed, plant-based, and better for you.
Right now, you can get a free 30-day supply with your first purchase by going to getsuperbeets.com/radio. This offer is exclusive to radio listeners only. You can't get a deal like that anywhere else. That's getsuperbeets.com/radio and get a free 30-day supply with your first purchase. Getsuperbeets.com radio.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
In times like these, experience, curiosity, and forward thinking.
That's where people are going.
Are the qualities that will see you through.
It will be a huge air dump.
Bloomberg Business Week with Carol Messer and Bloomberg Quick Takes Tim Stebeck.
This is all about travel.
Weekday afternoons at 2 Eastern.
The Slack action will offer a multiplier effect.
Bloomberg on SiriusXM, the Bloomberg Business app, and BloombergRadio.com. Or watch us on YouTube by searching Bloomberg Global News.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Retailers expect students and their parents to drive a lot of business this summer.
This back-to-school season is definitely going to look a lot different than 2020. It's going to be stronger than 2019.
Bloomberg retail reporter Jordan Holman.
It's going to be one of those more normal shopping season as the pandemic subsides here in the U.S.
Deloitte predicts school-related spending will be up 16% last year to more than $32 billion. Kids will be headed back to the classroom in new clothes, and after a year of only being seen from the neck up, they'll need new footwear. They'll also be carrying books again.
Sneakers will be a strong category as well. And backpacks are expected to make a real resurgence.
Store managers told Holman the back-to-school season started early, and it will likely continue for several more weeks.
Some retailers were already seeing parents shopping in late June, and they're expecting the season to go into mid-September.
I'm Jeff Bellinger. This is Bloomberg on SiriusXM.
Relive the sun-soaked sounds that made lifelong memories. The Billboard Top 500 Summer Hits Countdown for a limited time. 8 decades of songs that were hits in the summertime, according to Billboard magazine. The Billboard Top 500 Summer Hits Countdown. On now through July 30th, Channel 104 and the SXM app.
Mike, I understand you need the part.
Carly's Car Shop demands more engine-fixing horsepower. They need to floor it to find their staff some backup.
We need to finish up that coupe today. It cannot be here for another 2 weeks.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
President of the Jewish Communal Fund, Zoya Raines, and her husband, Robert Friedman, Jewish activists and philanthropists, talk about why they chose the Jewish Communal Fund for their charitable giving.
As very busy working parents, we wanted to focus more on the charity part of it and wanted to focus more on our children and less on the administration.
The Jewish Communal Fund is one of the oldest and largest donor-advised funds, but at the same time, they're totally up-to-date and have state-of-the-art systems for us to access and manage our contributions online. The assets in our fund at the JCF grow so we can generate more charity.
Let JCF fund your taxes and maximize your charitable giving.
We're incredibly passionate about our charity, and the JCF allows us to focus more on the charity and less on the administration and the headaches.
For more information about Jewish Communal Fund, visit our website jcfny.org and request a new fund kit.
With 3 bright minds thinking of questions.
How far apart are the 2 Americas right now?
Someone's bound to ask the one you most want answered.
What finds that as the year goes on?
Tom Keene, Jonathan Farrell, Lisa Abramowitz.
How do you explain the fact that you have not seen a cheer from equity traders?
Bloomberg Surveillance.
Will that occur within market stability?
Weekday mornings at 7 Eastern. Bloomberg on SiriusXM, the Bloomberg Business app, and BloombergRadio.com.
A rapidly growing wildfire in Northern California is forcing evacuations. Officials say the Tamarack fire south of Lake Tahoe sat at an estimated 500 acres Friday night. It has now owned over 6,600 acres and has closed multiple highways in the area as of Saturday. The